Boys from County Hell is a vampire horror movie. The movie is about a group of friends that are construction workers and they're working on this hill to basically turn this hill into like a road or something. Well, there's these stones that are stacked up at like this gravesite, and there's lore and legend that Dracula is buried there. Well, something happens with the friends where one of them ends up dying by the stones, and they notice that the blood goes into the ground. Well, construction's going on, and they actually destroy the stones. And yes, this vampire comes out of the ground. It isn't Dracula, though. It's a very powerful vampire, though. It's definitely powerful in the sense that it can, like, drain blood from people from far away. I mean, honestly, besides that, he wasn't, like, incredibly strong. I've definitely seen stronger vampires, but just to get back to it, so now these friends and the people in this construction group have to fight against vampires. And there's a little plot twist with the guy who died, the friend in the beginning. And they're just trying to save this town from this vampire that can drain your blood. Not even by, biting your neck or anything. He could just literally be a couple feet from you and your blood will just drain from your body and he'll just eat it. Which was pretty cool. And the movie is definitely a comedy. There's a big comedy part to this movie, so heads up. But yeah, just these friends fighting this vampire, and the only way to stop the vampire is to bury him in dirt and put stones on him, as all the ways that you were kind of just taught, not really taught, but like seen in movies on how to kill like vampires or in books. None of that shit works. On this one, only way to stop him, burying his ass with stones. So my review to Boys from County Hell, and there'll be some spoilers in here. So this movie it started insanely good. Like the first 5 minutes literally set up for this crazy ass movie. Not gonna lie, the old guy, when his eye starts bleeding, was insanely well done. But unfortunately, the first 5 minutes definitely set up. They went too hard because the movie really never ends up hitting that mark that the beginning set up. Like, I was expecting some crazy shit because of the beginning. And even though there was like a little bit of crazy shit going on, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, which I was honestly kind of disappointed. So there's that, and the movie having this huge tone, like comedy tone. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. This movie should have been way more serious, and it would have been way more better. And I think because it was a comedy, it took away from the movie. This is one of those movies where I don't think the comedy, well, as much as it was in the movie, worked. And also, I feel like because of that, you couldn't see some of the actors and actresses really going hard with their acting because it was a silly movie, So that kind of sucked because there was some good acting, but like I said, you couldn't really see the chops, their acting chops, because like anytime shit got serious, they would just throw a joke. It was kind of sad. And besides that, though, the practical effects in this movie were really good. The acting wasn't bad. I don't like the direction they went with the movie with the comedy. I also don't like that it went insanely hard in the first 5 minutes and you really don't get that ever again throughout the whole movie. Besides the impaling part of the friend being a vampire, not the friend but the construction worker, and then like the heart on the pole, like nothing really happened besides that in the beginning, so that kind of sucked. I mean, stuff happens obviously, but that was the best. I liked how the vampire wasn't like some average vampire, like you couldn't just kill him with like the traditional means, so he was like kind of special. but it's still kind of stupid how you could just, don't even got to be injured or nothing. As long as they're in dirt with stones, it's like some law they obey by. I don't know. They don't really go into that too much, but oh, in the very end when the dude cuts his leg off, that was pretty crazy. But back to it being kind of a comedy, it was just far-fetched and insane that it's like, I don't know. I liked the part, don't get me wrong, but the movie needed to be way more serious, and I probably would have had this way higher on like vampire movies I've seen, but unfortunately just the comedy part really just threw me off. Yeah, all in all, it was a decent watch though. I enjoyed it for what it was. So my recommendation for Boys from County Hell, and man, I would probably still recommend this. I mean, it was a good watch. It wasn't horrible or anything, and maybe somebody would definitely enjoy the comedy in this movie or like that about it. So I mean, it wasn't really bad in any way. And there was some really, really good stuff about it. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend it. Just was kind of going into it thinking it was going to be like this serious movie. Definitely from like the beginning was like super excited. And then that was definitely like the best part of the movie for me. So when the first 5 minutes of a movie are the best part, I don't know if you consider that good or bad, but for me, it's a little disappointing. So yeah, I'd still recommend this.